We're going to have a look at this in Pascal now. So we're going to set the name to be blank, then we're going to get the name from the keyboard, and then we're going to print the name out. However, in Pascal it's not as straightforward as this for one reason. We haven't got this item here where it says input, please enter your name, and it automatically prints it on the screen. We have to create that line ourselves. So let's hop over and you'll see what I mean. So let's go get Pascal. There we go. So at the moment we've got a name is of type string, and then we've got the rest of it. So let's delete this line, which is fine. Let's set that to the empty string. So there's nothing in there at all. Now I need to prompt the user to enter a value in. I can't just use input. I have to actually print something out on the screen. Right line. In fact, instead of it being one statement, it becomes two. Please enter your name. So that is a statement that just prints to the screen. Now we're going to do the reading statement or the input, which is, and we saw this in the last video because we sort of paused the screen with this, read line name. So that asks the user to type in their name. And finally, we're going to write or print the name back out to the screen. Now that is going to work. You're probably not going to see the name printed out because the program will end straight after it. So I'd need to have another read line statement in there to sort of pause the screen so that you could see it. I'm going to run this one because this is the actual program that we need. So if I save it, which I have done, and then compile it, I'm using the keyboard shortcuts to do the job. And then if I go to the file and double click on my first, there you go. Please enter your name, Bob, and as I said, it will read it straight away and end the program. So you don't see it written out. If you want to see it written out, then you're going to have to pause the screen again with another read line name. So I'm going to do that now so that you can see it in action, so you can see that it's actually printing. I could read line anything, but I've only got one variable in my program, so I keep asking for that one. So let's save this and compile again. Okay, and now run my program. Please enter your name. Now notice that it's asked please enter your name on one line and it's waiting for input on a second line. I'm going to change that shortly. So there's my Bob, and then it prints out Bob, and it's now waiting again for some sort of input. Now I said I was going to change it so it all works on one line, and that is in this statement. There is more than one way of printing to the screen. At the moment we've used write line, so that writes something on the screen and then sort of presses enter so you get a new line. That's what the ln means. So if I take that out and just have write, okay, save, compile and run. Okay, run the program. Now the cursor is waiting right after the prompt. So I can type Bob, enter, and it prints Bob out. And then it's waiting for another key press. So that is Pascal. We don't need that very final line, read line name. That is just something to pause the screen so that we can see what was written on it. But this 4-line program matches the 3-line that we had in the pseudocode. And what has happened is that these two, or this line here, has been split into 2 with a sort of print that out, and then have another line beneath it saying fetch the information into name.